Well, hello and welcome to IRL F2 round 18 and Monaco. I'm Sondre Sorhaug. I'm joined by Felix and Negwer today.
Hello everyone.
And Monaco, Felix.
Yeah, one of the toughest tracks, maybe the toughest track, probably the toughest track on the whole calendar. With 4 races to go now, the season starts to come to an end. Gonna be interesting. It's a real test of driver skill, precision, and yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see who will be able to hold the pace throughout the whole race, be consistent, and don't put the car into the wall. I think that's the most important fact. And,
well, you definitely said something extremely important in the end there, and that's just not putting the car in the wall, and that is so easily to do here. It's one slip up and then the suspension is gone.
As we already see, Tyler Thomas has already lost his front wing on his out lap. Has now come into the pits already again. Seems like he isn't the only one.
And it looks like Marcel Holler will be one of the first people to actually do a lap, as he's out on supers. Interesting choice.
Nino Romanello as well starts his first flying lap.
I mentioned about Nino is that he will need to put on a good performance today, as he is starting with a 5-second penalty into this race, which means that a slip up in quali today is gonna be too costly, because a slip up and not being able to pass drivers could cost him badly in a championship fight.
Yeah, the thing is, in Monaco, you don't want to be starting in the midfield. You rather want to be even at the back. Just wait, let everyone in front have their carnage, and then just come out of there cleanly. Or just start at the front, just pull away from everyone else. Nino Romanello, meanwhile, gets held up on his lap by a Red Bull. With a full grid today, it's going to be interesting to see who will take pole. He comes into the pits as well, as we have the first 2 times. Actually 3 times now, as Jared Fosbury sets the fastest lap on ultra softs though, with a 1:12.2, right ahead of a Haas, which is James Sands.
Hope is in the second sector at the moment, out on the hypers. I got to be honest, I don't really think there is another strategy than to go hypers to start with, because Jeremy has lost his front wing, which means that he's gonna go into the pit, and we're gonna need to find something else to look at then. And we could have a look at Lance LeBrun in the Red Bull today, our F1 commentator, trying to improve his racecraft, and that's the second time I'm switching over to a driver and he loses his front wing. I think that's gonna be the story of the day, Felix. People without front wings.
Yeah. Jared, meanwhile, improves his lap by quite a big amount of time, over a second. He is on ultras though, you have to remember, so he should be quicker than the guys setting their laps on softs. Meanwhile,
and Lance is out of the session.
Yep.
That means he's gonna be starting at the back, and well, to be fair, but I don't know where the worst place to start around Monaco is. If it's the back or the midfield, because
I definitely say it's the midfield. In the back, you can take it easy. You can take it really cautiously. Just wait until all the carnage is gone. But in the midfield, you can't back out of there. You have cars behind you. You have cars in front of you. Cars right next to you. So it's just nearly impossible to get out of there without any damage in an online race on this game into turn one. It's so tight, the walls are right next to each other. Some people brake too late, miscalculate themselves, and as we can see, Tyler Thomas lost his front wing into Saint Devot.
oh, we're actually on Thomas McIver at the moment as he sets a 112 flat on the supers. So Felix, do you want to jump straight into guessing our top 4 in quali?
Yeah, I'll definitely think that Jared is going to take pole today. But then it's going to be interesting in my opinion. I think James Sands could have a good chance to be in the top 4. I think he will start from second. Then I think it's going to be Adrian Storm, and eventually in 4th place I expect Lee Kelly. I heard that Paco Suarez didn't have a lot of time this week to practice. That's why I don't think he's going to be in the top 4 in quali. But yeah, I go with those 4.
Alright, fair enough. For my top 4 though, after we've seen Billy doing a cut, so his lap should be invalidated. Gonna have a look at the other Red Bull of Shane. As for my... ooh, and that is definitely invalidated. Or is it? As for my top 4, I'm definitely going with Paco in pole. He needs a win to keep his championship hope alive. It's looking darker and darker. Oh, and there we have Shane out. He's doing the same mistake as his teammate did earlier. His teammate just lost the front wing though. I don't have a watch Nino though. But I'm going with Paco in pole. Second, I believe we'll see... it's a hard one. I think we will see Luis Wasman in second. The German Sauber driver. Then I'll think we have Marcel Holler in third, the other Sauber driver. And in 4th, I'll go with Thomas McIver. He showed good pace last week with his first podium, and I think he might surprise us again. So, as we are... ooh, and look at that! That is unsuspected. I did not expect Callum to go first in quali, although it is time left though, but to be fair, that time isn't too bad, especially considering Callum has struggled. Oh, as Nino does a spin.
Oh, and he got disqualified. Callum Anderson got disqualified.
Oh, that is
so
a big
he won't
shame.
be starting in first. He will be starting last after setting the fastest time. That's obviously very annoying and disappointing. He got disqualified for parking the car in a dangerous position that was in the runoff area in Saint Devot. So the game again doing some questionable things.
So who is on a lap right now?
By the way, we see some drivers.
Marcel Holler seems to be on a lap.
We see some drivers with black helmet this weekend due to the passing of one of Lee Kelly's friends. Obviously, very sad for everyone in the league. That's why some drivers are wearing a full black helmet, which I think is a very nice gesture for him,
Yeah, I got to say,
for his honor.
it's good to see drivers paying their respects to Lee's mate, and Lee obviously still racing, going strong. Even though, I guess with that in mind, it's kind of hard to race at the same time. But he's making an effort for it, and I'm telling you, Lee Kelly, I did not predict him inside my top 4 in quali, but I'm gonna tell you, he's ending up on the podium in the race.
James Sands has kind of a black helmet, but I don't think that any driver is refusing to wear a black helmet. I just think that many drivers just forgot it or just didn't read the message. Just trying to get people wearing black helmets. But we see a few. I've definitely seen at least 6 people wearing black helmets, which I think is very nice.
Got to say, I haven't really counted, but I've seen a few. I see right now as we're watching Chris Ryan into the last corner, he's also wearing a black helmet, and he totally bins it out of the last corner though.
Marcel Holler as well.
And Marcel is sitting first at the moment with a
Adrian Storm wears a black helmet. Obviously Lee Kelly himself.
From the drivers. And we'll now have a look at Tim Bruce Daly as he's going to pass the line, and that time he's going to start a lap now actually. Going up the hill, it's really important to hit this corner exactly right, if not you're gonna get a bad exit. Seems to be going smoothly through the first sector. Down to this hairpin. I really don't like this hairpin, gotta admit it. It's just either I'm getting a warning for cutting it too much or I'm touching the ball.
Oh, and Lee is quickest at the moment.
As Tim has spun it right before the tunnel. And look at that,
the
Lee
place
first.
Lee is going around at the moment. Marcel completely lost his front wing.
A look at Christos Kalamidas then. Toro Rosso driver, Greek, our only Greek driver in the league at the moment, as he's going into the last few corners now. Seems to be having a nice line in the last corner there, and he passes the line with an 11.2, so puts him 5th. Not too shabby. So
well, James Sands seems to be on a lap. Coming out of the tunnel now.
Is he really on a lap with those tires? He's already taken them 3 laps.
Tire touches the wall into the swimming pool section. Yeah, he seems to back off now.
I don't know, he's still Nah, he's backed off, yeah. Well, Paco Suarez, however, he's out of lap. And he's slightly up in the first sector if I saw right. However, he might be hitting traffic with a Haas car who seems to also be on a lap. Could be crucial.
That's another factor in Monaco, the traffic equality.
Ooh. That was a cut and a half. Is it valid though? One look at this, Paco is right on the tail of this house. He might be able to use that slipstream a little. They're going up to the line and he
goes second.
Oh, but it's behind his
right
teammate.
Behind his teammate.
Hypers.
Oh, and they've crashed. The Haas and Paco Suarez, they touched into turn 1. That wasn't James Sands, that actually was Jeremy Pope, who has lost his front wing into Saint Devot as Paco Suarez went down the inside of him into turn 1 after finishing his lap. Probably was a bit frustrated because of the Haas driver, who definitely cost him some time on his flying lap.
Well, should we have a look at now who seems to be out on the lap? I think Louis Wasman is not on lap, he's on an out lap. Storm, however, he's going into
Lee
the last
Kelly
sector.
Is out on the Hypersofts. So he's definitely going for pole.
As Christus has been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location.
Yeah, I saw it. He tried to let other cars through out of the swimming pool section, and the game just disqualifies him as well. So yeah, again the game just screwing up people's qualifying.
Storm though, going into Mirabo.
Tyler Thomas retired.
Hairpin looks like he's going a little wide, although it's not much to go wide on there. This is coming.
Lee Kelly, meanwhile, going into the Loves hairpin.
Storm coming down out of the tunnel. Oh, and he spins it, taps the inside wall, and that's, oh no. That meant, well, the Renault driver wasn't actually on the lap, so his lap wasn't interrupted by that.
Lee Kelly, meanwhile, stuck behind the Mercedes. Don't know whether that's
that is Storm who has
Tim
had a
or
spin. If Storm just can keep his pace up for the last few corners, this could give Lee a small slipstream. As Marcel is out and is ending his quali in 5th.
And he takes the lead by 6/10.
Kelly, what a lap he's putting in then.
A 1:09.9.
Jared is out on lap on the Hypersoft, so he will improve his lap if he can get it right though.
Do you know what? I actually think that some people might qualify on Hypers because there could be some rain in the race, which we don't know about. Obviously, the drivers have the weather forecast for the race. We don't. So I don't see another reason why so many people should qualify on Hypers.
Well, you know, some people might just be terrified of actually having traffic. As we see that Paco is finished and he's gonna start in 4th place, it looks like. Jared, however,
and now Jared comes around the final corner. Doesn't seem
good is
like
this lap? It's not pole, it's
nope.
2nd.
So who's alright, that should be it. James Sands has backed out and retired.
No.
Oh, and there's been a collision into Raskas.
Between Jack Yates and Thomas McIver. I'm not sure what happened there. I
Meanwhile, Tim goes
caught
into
a
the
glimpse
pits.
of it, but
so that's qualifying over for you. Lee Kelly, respects to him after the passing of his mate, comes back very strong with a very healthy and strong mindset and takes pole in Monaco 2/10, exactly 2/10 ahead of Jared Fosbury. Now a message is blocking the standings right now. Then in 3rd, James Sands. What good quality for him as well. He will be starting on the Ultra Soft. So it seems like he has very good chances of taking the win.
alright, so in top 10
no, actually on
then,
Hypersofts.
we have Lee Kelly ahead of Jared Fosbury and James Sands, all on Hypers. Then we have Paco Suarez, Joe Hollis, Marcel Holler and Tyler Thomas, all on Ultras. Adrian Storm, surprisingly, on Supers. Then we have Louis Wasman on Ultras and Jack Yates on supers. Nino starting in 11th, and that 5-second time penalty will definitely not be a good thing to think about now.
Remember, Lee hasn't won a single race so far, which is actually very surprising for someone who is as quick as he is. So the Monaco Grand Prix could be a good opportunity for him to get his first win of the season. Obviously, Jared Fosbury tries to make a big step towards the championship this season. He cannot win it yet because he has a 45-point lead over Paco Suarez at the moment, and if he wins this race, it is only 70 points with 3 races to go, and theoretically Paco Suarez would still have the opportunity to take the World Championship from him.
You know,
But
Felix,
it could,
I finish.
yeah.
Alright, well, you know that, interestingly enough, you're mentioning that Lee hasn't won a race yet this season, and his teammates, he's won 2. But Lee has out-qualified his team by 9-5 though. So he's definitely had the pace there, he's just not gotten it together in the races. He's had plenty of podiums, but not just for that top step yet. Do you think today is his day?
I really hope for him after a hard time in his private life, obviously. I would be really happy for him. I think he really deserves that after the performances he showed all throughout the season. He showed very good pace, as you said, especially in quali. But quali is not everything, as you can see. He hasn't won a race. Today, he has, again, another very good possibility to do that. Jared Fosbury, I think, outqualified his teammate only for the 5th time today, as I remember correctly. I think Paco Suarez outqualified him 12 times so far this season.
That battle stands 12-5 in favor for Paco at the moment.
Yeah, but if you take a look at the championship standings, it's pretty obvious who outperformed his teammate in the actual races.
Definitely.
So quality is not everything, but I think today in Monaco, if he can keep it together, he has a very good chance of taking his first win in IRL F2.
Oh, yeah.
But we now have to wait until the start of the Monaco Grand Prix, which is going to be very hectic indeed, like it always is.
And mentioning Jared and Paco, there has definitely been some strategy blunders by Paco this season with a few late stops.
Remember, Paco has a tire advantage though at the moment.
And there we go, 5 red lights.
5 red lights. Lights on and away we go. It seems like it's a good start for me.
By the Williams. Although they make...
Oh, 3 wide into turn 1. Paco keeps 3rd spot at the moment. Like... gains 1 position. Oh, and that's a Sauber into the wall. That's Marcel Holler.
Oh, and Billy has gotten a
and then another collision.
Start.
And then a collision between him and I think that was Joe Hollis. Oh, and then a dive from the Sauber of Luis Wasman. Oh, and that was very aggressive. Adrian Storm lost 2 places through that.
And look at that storm on Tyler Thomas right before the tunnel.
Yeah, that was a bit over-aggressive in my opinion from Luis Wasman.
But Tyler Thomas might be coming back at him. He doesn't do it this time.
And that was a bit of front wing damage.
And Lee Kelly
a lot of smoke.
Of 1.2 seconds.
Oh, Marcel Holler has lost a big chunk of his front wing.
Oh yeah, he
needs to pit at the end of this lap already. Okay. That's disaster for him.
It's 39 laps though. Can you take those supers that far? Because if he can, he might think about doing that.
Oh, and the barriers of Monaco have got their first victim in the name.
Oh, Thomas MacGyver.
Yeah, Thomas MacGyver threw it in the swimming pool section.
Well, that is a
In the
shame.
midfield,
As you said, the first
again, look at Callum Anderson. He's had a fantastic start. Now tries to go down the inside. That's a very late move, and it's gone horribly wrong for Tim in the Mercedes.
That's a big shame, but like we still do want to see some overtakes on this track, and Mirabel is one
But
of
I
the
think
few
that was
chances
just too aggressive from Callum Anderson.
But
just
yeah,
too
I
late.
didn't see it properly, but it looked like
a very late dive from him. But look at the battle for P2 at the moment. Jared Fosbury is losing time to his teammate who is on harder tyres.
Jared against Paco.
Paco now in the slipstream, the two championship contenders. That's a great fight. Lee Kelly meanwhile pulls out a gap. Then we have a few pit stops.
I don't think we'll see many drivers passing each other, as we do have Christos out of the race. Can we get a view of where it was? It was in the second to last corner, I believe. La Roscas. And right now it looks like there's a few
Marcel Holler right behind Tyler Thomas.
Oh yeah, look at this, Marcel out on his supers, and Tyler Thomas with a
and now
exit.
he sees the possibility.
Oh,
he won't go down the inside. Smart decision in my opinion. And maybe now very late braking from the Sauber driver.
Ooh, as Jeremy is out. And Tim has gotten a 5-second stopping over illegal blocking.
Oh, you can see Marcel just waiting for an opportunity to pass Tyler. Oh, and that's a big corner cut from the Force India in the background.
And I'm telling you,
we have yellow flags in sector 1 and 2. Who's that? Oh, and that's a Haas going straight on.
Yeah, that's probably the Haas of Jeremy then.
Yeah, it actually is.
He wants, Nino, no, not Nino, but Marcel might actually end up under pressure.
Oh, and that was a... Oh my god.
Oh,
that was a Red Bull diving down the inside of race leader Lee Kelly. My goodness me, after the tunnel. I think that was our F1 commentator.
It should have been, as we see that.
Yeah, it was Lance.
He's
lost his front wing, he braked too late and then just dived down the inside of Lee Kelly. Lucky from that inside without any... He completely shunted into the side. That could have ended much worse.
Oh, and look at this. Look how close Paco Suarez is to Jared Fosbury now. One small slip up and Paco is past him. And oh, look at this. Paco into the hairpin. Making a clean move. I got to tell you, Felix, I did not see that one coming from Paco, but he just threw it down his inside and... Wow.
It was pretty unlucky. My internet just went off there for a few seconds and I didn't see the move properly.
Oh, well, it should be on the stream if you want to have a look at it. It was a dive into the hairpin, basically. As Tyler Thomas is out.
Will now try.
And I don't think Fosbury is going to keep up with Paco now on those 4 laps old hypers.
Typical Monaco, as we have seen this race so far. After 5 laps completed, we already have 5.
Chris Ryan right on the back of Shane in the Red Bull. Can he do a move into turn 1?
I think he's too far away. I think he just got overtaken.
He's too far away, but he's got to find somewhere to do it.
Jared Fosbury is trying to stay with his teammate, but he seems to be struggling on those hypers already. Meanwhile, Lee Kelly is losing time to Paco Suarez as well, who seems to be flying.
And right now, our closest battle might actually be... It is actually Chris. Oh, look at this. Chris might have a run on Shane out of the tunnel. Will he throw it down the inside? He does! There isn't much space there. They both get through the corner, but... Oh my god. Is he thinking about it?
We have a first pit stop
Oh,
from one of the top guys.
Oh my god, the Red Bull mounted the Ferrari of Chris Ryan in the swimming pool section. Well, I got to say,
Jared
it was
Fosbury is coming
Chris
to the
there,
pits.
but it did not work.
Comes out of the pits. P9 at the moment for him. Alright, he has a lot of clean air ahead of him. Nobody's right behind him, so he might be lucky for the next few laps to maybe even undercut the race leader if he carries on for a few more laps. He's losing massively time to Paco Suarez in second, who's very quick on this track right now. As we can see, a battle for P5. Oh, that was very close between Adrian Storm and
I'm
Lewis
actually
Rosman.
on the battle for P4 at the moment, where Joe is chasing James around this track. He's trying to find his opportunity. James on those old hypers. But,
oh, that was very close indeed.
They were
James
lucky
starts
there was
into
no
the pits.
front wing or no spin there. But look at this though, Paco has closed the gap to Lee Kelly already, and
yeah, the hypers are really going down now.
They
are.
But look at this, Louis Wasman on the rear of Callum Anderson. It's ultras against hyper.
Just to remind you of the tactics at the moment, it seems like Jared Fosbury is trying to get till the end on those supers, as James Sands has pitted onto ultras because he thinks it seems like he thinks he won't be able to carry those soft supers till the end of the race, so he's definitely doing the one stop, and Jared will try the two stop. No, other way around. James is definitely going for the two stop, and Jared will try to make the one stop work, as Lee is now under pressure.
And look at this, Paco is right behind Lee, and we might actually
see
and they're
side by side.
In the
does Lee defend properly? Paco, yes, he does. Oh my goodness.
Archie, but they're both coming through without damage. And it is a clean move by Paco. And what a scene we got to see there. Oh, sorry about that one. But what a pass we got to see from Paco.
It's actually interesting to see that we have quite a lot of overtakes for it being Monaco at the moment.
Well, yeah, you have a point there. Like, we don't expect much when entering Monaco.
One unsurprising thing is the amount of retirements already. After starting with 20, we have 12 drivers left now. Yeah. After 8 laps completed. So, it's just drive to survive, really.
We have 11 drivers left. As
let's
Nino
make it 11 then.
Out of the race too.
If one more retires, everyone who finishes the race will end up in the points. And as we now try to
Kelly pits, where will he end up?
Yeah, Lee is definitely behind.
He's behind Jared, but
he's lost a massive amount of time.
a massive too. Oh, and look at this. Storm is close to Joe Hollis now as they fight for second place at the moment. Storm's 9-lap-old supers might be the better tires than the ultras right now.
The only battle we have on track at the moment as well.
And right now this is our only battle on track. Adrian Storm, who's just gotten his first victory in IRL.
Oh, into Raskas. Can he make the switch back? No.
He was trying for it, but he might just be about close enough to go for a move into turn 1. He's looking to go for the outside, but he's not really close enough this time, and will still be sitting behind.
There you can see exactly the thing about Monaco. It's just way too hard to overtake.
Yeah.
Normally it has to be a very brave and late dive. And it has to be fair as well, and that's so difficult to master. Callum Anderson meanwhile closed up to Lee Kelly.
But look at this Storm though. Into the tunnel. Can he be close enough? He's not really close enough yet. It is hard to stay close enough here, and he was thinking about it into the swimming pool section, which we saw earlier between Shane and Chris. Really isn't a good idea. But there is no move happening here at the moment. However, Callum has just lost 2 seconds to Lee, so I don't know what he's done. Look at this though. Fosbury, he had a lot of clean air, but he doesn't anymore.
Yeah, he needs to get past that Ferrari ahead of him as soon as possible, as the Ferrari is on old supers, and that dirty air really destroys your tires.
Oh, but look at this. I think we will see a move by Storm soon. He's
Maybe after
right
the tunnel.
on the tail of Joe. He's gonna try to get a
if
good
this exit right now was good, and it isn't, and that really compromised his exit.
That is
I think
a shame.
his straight line speed is very bad as well.
Jared Fosbury is right on the back of Jack Yates, but he might have a problem with Jack Yates also being right on the back of Louis Wasman. And to be fair, Wasman not too far behind Storm either. We might have a big battle going soon, or a big queue for that matter.
As Lewis comes into the pits,
as Wasman is pitting
and destroys your theory. Oh, and the Ferrari lets Jared Fosbury through. That really plays into right into his hands.
And the Ferrari
nearly throws it into the wall after that. But again, Joe Hollis and Adrian Storm so close to each other, and I think Adrian Storm just went for too much downforce. I mean, look at that.
Oh, but look at this though. He is close, but he's barely gaining on the straight still. And
yeah, even though he's got the slipstream, I think his downforce level is just too high.
He actually went down
to really get past.
Yeah, it looks like Storm might have gone for a bit too much downforce, which will it won't help him in this battle right now.
And I can tell you, you get so frustrated.
Right on his tail too.
If you are behind someone and you are so much quicker, but you just can't get past, That's incredibly frustrating, and at some point you might lose a bit of concentration or just do a very risky move at some point and just think, I'll just go for it no matter what will happen. And if that mindset kicks in, that could really, yeah, end your race pretty soon. And that can't happen for him, otherwise he will lose all of his points he would get at the moment. Remember, both have still to pit yet. But Storm is on slower tires at the moment.
But
so
look at this though, look at the gap for Paco Suarez. Yes, he's almost having 21 seconds down to second place.
The thing is,
and
Jared needs to close that gap so he is in front of his teammate as soon as he pits. But if he is stuck behind those two fighting at the moment for a bit longer, then his chances for a race win are pretty much over.
the thing is, he will be stuck because Storm is on supers. He's not planning on pitting anytime soon. Although Fosbury is putting pressure on Storm right now. But look at the gap though, it's going up. But I think we might have a more interesting battle down in 6th between Jack and James, as they are small. But look at this though. Adrian is just not finding the possibility right now.
I just don't know how Jared's straight line speed looks like, because he got overtaken by his teammate earlier on in the race. One thing's
for sure, if Joe decides to stay out a few more laps, then Paco will pit and come out in the lead, because the gap is already 23.5 seconds down to Joe.
Even if Paco pits now, he would be ahead of Joe. 23.7 seconds.
Yeah, it actually is.
And remember, Jared is on supers, which are 9 laps old. So, oh, and we have our 10th retirement.
Yates is out. Can we get a safety car?
That would spice things up quite a lot, actually. That would be amazing for this race.
Could save Jared right now too, considering he's already on 9 laps old supers and
I actually don't think that Jared can go into the end with those tires.
I don't think so either. That's why Paco hasn't pitted yet, as he is actually pitting right now.
And he will definitely come out ahead of that train right there.
He's already on his way out of the pit actually. So he will get out well ahead as he's turning off the pit limiter there, and that is pretty much this race decided, as Joe also pits, which makes Storm finally get that clean air, but he does have Fosbury all over him.
And remember, he has a very low amount of straight line speed. Mercedes driver.
Yeah, that might come into effect.
The thing is, Jared has to pass him now as well, and he does so. Not a difficult one. Storm lets him pass. So Jared now needs to pick up the pace a little bit, because as I said, and as you said as well, we don't think that he can make it to the end of those tires, which means he has to pull out a gap that is big enough to come out ahead of Joe Hollis again. After
but look at this, Lee
is
right behind James Sands, and he's got to have been thinking about the move out of the tunnel there. And this is not a good thing for Lee, because he is behind the 2 stopping James Sands, although James might be thinking about his second pit stop soon.
Callum Anderson as well gets past Joe Hollis, and Joe Hollis has lost his front wing. already on his first lap after his pit stop, he's lost his front wing, and that, yeah, pretty much
Well, that is a shame. That puts him
makes
out of the
makes
battle
it
for
irrelevant
the
what I
podium.
just said, with Jared Fosbury needing to pull out a gap to Joe Hollis because he just lost his front wing. But Lee
look at this,
is
though.
so close to James Sands at the moment.
Yeah, but will he have a
And I think he
problem
could
with
go,
the fact that
if this
but
exit
look at
now
this
is good,
lead,
which it
does
really
have
is,
a
he
good
could go
exit.
for a move, he's very
He
close.
will go for a move. The question is
Oh, and
outside
he
or
had
inside.
to lift off a little bit, he had to lift off in the middle of the tunnel because he was too close to James at the little corner inside the tunnel. Oh, and he's lost a bit of his front wing. Lee has clipped the wall.
Well, it's just an end plate, isn't it? So it should be
but still in
manageable for the
Monaco,
race.
that's quite a big amount of time lost.
Well, obviously, but it's not enough to pit again.
That
Not yet, at
is
least.
true.
But look at this, though. With James so close to Adrian, will Lee be able to do a move now? As he does have a good exit there and might be going. He's not going for a move into Mirabeau. As Callum Anderson sets the fastest lap on almost first set of ultras. Oh my god, think about it, Phil. As we see Storm moving over for the both of them, just realizing his tires doesn't have the raw pace anymore.
Very smart from him, in my opinion.
Well, to be fair, if he doesn't want to put himself in risk of a crazy dive from somebody behind, then it is a smart choice. Obviously, he could have also chose to just keep them behind for his strategy to work better, but
meanwhile, Callum Anderson got past Lewis
and no, Joe Hollis is out, which means we're down to 9 and we have
and we have a
almost 20 laps left.
VSC deployed.
Ooh. Will anyone exploit this? So have a look at Jared. He's already past the pit, so he didn't get the chance to do that.
If that VSC holds for... No, it is already over again. So,
but look at this, though. We do have a battle between Callum Anderson and Louis Wassmann down in 6th and 7th.
and actually look at that. The gap between P2 and P5 is actually very close. Then a big gap to Callum Anderson. Then Louis Wassmann, who has just been passed by Callum Anderson. Then another huge gap to Marcel Holler. And then in last place, the Ferrari. Of Chris Ryan.
Chris Ryan, yeah. As Lee Kelly is once again closer to James. That front wing, if it does have damage on it, as you said it is, then it will be more difficult for him now, but he's getting close. But he's gotta get as close as he did last time going into the tunnel.
Ooh, very close there between.
But look at this, though. A good exit, that's all he needs there. And he does have
and
a good exit.
that was a very good exit. Is he close
And
enough, though?
What will we see? He's going
He tries to go around the outside. That's a good opportunity. Oh, and that's a penalty for
so
corner cutting.
To go through there.
If he could have stayed alongside in the first turn, he would have had the inside line in the second one. Oh, and that's Jared Fosbury in the pits. Already. As Callum Anderson retired.
Ooh.
Oh, and that's Lewis Wasserman going into the crashed car of Callum Anderson, and he has to pit because of that as well.
Pit we go.
Yeah, he crashed into the Force India who crashed in Raskas.
Look at this though, Lee is still right
very
behind
annoying.
James.
That must be so frustrating.
And Lee doesn't have the best exit this time. I don't think he's gonna be close enough unless he does do a crazy dive. He doesn't do it this time. We need a safety car.
I can tell you, we only have 8 drivers left in this race. After having a full grid.
And are down to 5th.
Monaco.
Look at Storm though. He's taken his
did its thing.
Supers for 21 laps now. 22 laps actually. Which means that he should be able to take a set of ultras to the end now if he picks on this lap or the next one.
Yeah, and Lee must be so frustrated behind James Sands.
I can imagine some swearing going on with him right now.
But I really respect that he doesn't dive
exit. That's all
at some point.
He does have a good exit once again. Can he get the inside line this time?
He gets the inside line. Brakes pretty early though.
Oh.
And he still can't make that move stick. You can be as quick as you want, but if you don't get past the car ahead of you, that is no use in the end. He definitely needs to go for an unexpected move.
Yes. And I think he might be going for one
position.
into turn 1. He doesn't this time. As Storm is
maybe
pitting.
Into
but look at this
or
though.
Something.
Oh, I thought he was going for it there. Storm is behind Jared, but he's on a quicker set of tires though, and it's not too far behind.
I don't know why Jared has not gone onto the ultras, actually.
Well,
and Lee again.
we gotta come back to that as Lee is once again going for the move.
Now brakes later. He has the inside line there. Can he make the move stick this time? They're side by side going into the swimming pool section. Lee is passed. Finally.
Finally made it. Finally made it. And it's up to 2nd place. Oh, and
Paco Suarez has pitted.
Is he doing one of those things again?
And James Sands, unsurprisingly, for me at least, pits for a new set of tires. Paco Suarez. Oh, I think Paco Suarez has lost his front wing at some point. I was wondering why he isn't in the lead anymore, just because he pitted. I think his gap was quite big, but I think he's lost his front wing. That's maybe the reason why his pit stop took so long as well.
Oh, and look at this. James Sands is coming out right behind Jared on quicker tires.
As Lee now has to pick up the pace to still be in front of Jared, Fosbury and James Sands.
Well, Lee is definitely gonna be taking those tires to the end. Or Yeah, that's questionable. Guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
He could try to do a Sebastian Vettel from Bahrain last season, when Vettel stretched the tyres for such a long time to hold off Bottas in the end. And that could be something similar. If Leclerc can actually stretch out those supers, they will be so won in the end.
That was when Kimi retired because
he ran over his mechanic.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that I remember that. Vettel didn't actually have a choice to pit. Did manage to do it though. Can we see Lee pulling
doesn't really have a choice to pit either, because the gap is too close between him and Jared Fosbury at the moment.
Well, I mean, it's 13 more laps. 29 laps old supers when he pits. You know, with Paco behind him on those fresh ultras, he's gonna be catched, and I don't think
it doesn't matter if Paco gets past, but if he stays in second, that would have been worth it, because at the moment he would definitely come out behind his two rivals.
Yeah, you do have a point there.
By the way, for those wondering if the two drivers in P9 and P10 who retired already will be awarded those 2 and 1 points. No, they won't, because of the 90% rule. If a driver
I gotta stop you here, Felix, because look at this. Lewis Wasman is close to his teammate.
Yes, he is indeed.
Supers.
To just finish my sentence, if a driver races 90% of the race and then retires, he will be awarded with those points. If he actually retires inside the points, but if they don't, they won't. The points won't be awarded. So actually, Callum Anderson and Joe Hollis won't get their points. But for example, if I don't know, Lewis Wasman retires on the last lap, he will get 4 points because he did 90% of the race. He participated in 90% of the race. But you can see look at the gap between Paco Suarez and Lee Kelly. It's going down so quickly. And what I find
quickly and
quite
we saw Paco doing
and quite amazing.
Hairpin on Jared earlier when they were both on pretty fresh tires.
And Paco didn't practice for more than half an hour or something, if it even was half an hour. And he still probably will win this race, and that is quite impressive, I have to say.
But look at this though, the two Sauber drivers.
Yeah, Lewis Wasman
right behind each other. Wasman trying to pass his Austrian teammate Marcel Holler.
I really hope he's not going for a move into the low hairpin. No, he isn't. That's too risky between teammates.
Well, he could try, but as I mentioned, we saw Paco doing it earlier, but it's a risky move, and being teammates, they should want to bring those points for the Sauber team too, so guess we'll see. At the moment though, Lewis is staying close to Marcel.
Oh, and he slightly clipped the wall there.
Yeah, but you can just see that Marcel is struggling more with his tires than Lewis is.
Yeah, his tires are more than twice as old as Marcel's.
Are we going to see a multi-21 situation at some point?
As Lewis is.
Wasman is definitely quicker at this point, but he just
But you can really see the dirty air.
Oh yeah.
Showing their impact, and Marcel nearly loses it. and nearly throws it into the wall. That was very well held from the Austrian right there. He saves the car and keeps it out of the wall. And that was quite impressive. He loses the spot to his teammate though, but I think that's not too bad for him. But Paco Suarez is now only a second behind Lee Kelly. But it seems like if Lee Kelly can get over the line without a puncture, it seems like he will keep second place.
Well, he probably will, yeah, because like from what I can see, I don't think Jared has caught too much on Lee.
No, actually not more than a second so far. No, the gap is...
Well, he's losing a little right now.
Pretty much about the same. Oh, and that's a time penalty for Paco Suarez.
That could end up being crucial. There is just 9 laps left.
Yeah, depends on when he gets past Lee. If it takes a few laps now to get past the Williams driver, then it could be crucial, yeah. Yellow flags in sectors 1 and 2. That is Marcel. Oh yeah, that was the Ferrari.
Interesting. If you follow Paco, he isn't using any ERS, so he's definitely feeling out to find out where he's gonna make his move on him. Which, to be fair, many people would think 8 laps left and panic that they won't pass, but Paco looks to just be taking his time carefully to find out exactly where to pass him. Which is probably a good strategy right now, wouldn't you say, Felix?
Yeah, I think Paco is just very confident that he will win this race. He knows that he even gains, even if he doesn't use any ERS. So, I'm pretty sure that he will win this race though. He is on a wheel, so he has a lot more control over his car. And Lee has got such old tyres and such worn tyres as well. I think Paco is just very confident.
Definitely, but you gotta give it up for Lee though. Those 22 laps old supers, and Jared isn't catching anything at the moment.
No, he still seems to be not too slow at the moment, which is actually pretty
Jared
impressive.
Is actually losing a little in certain parts of the track right now, so with those old tires, Lee is definitely still quick, but can he be quick enough though?
I'm following Lee on board at the moment.
Let's have a little guessing game here, Felix. Where on track do you think Paco will make a move on Lee?
I think he will do it after the tunnel into the chicane. He will use his ERS at some point and then just try to go for a dive then.
Alright, well, I don't want to say the same, so I'm gonna say into Mirabo. Sounds like a good place when you're on much better tires to, if you can get
that's
down
a good guess as well.
gonna have
Paco
to
now
use right
starts to use some ERS.
Oh, he's not just using a little, he's in overtaking. He's looking for his opportunity now. Come on, Mirabo. Please let me out right for once. Oh, I thought he was going for it there.
Not this lap.
And he's turning down his ERS again. Probably a good thing to do in this slow section. Coming into the tunnel. He's turning it up again.
Puts it up into overtake.
Is he close enough? Lee will definitely not
No, he's
concede
not
without
yet.
a fight.
Lee is still in medium ERS mode.
And look at this, Storm is right on the back of James Sands at the moment as they're going out of the tunnel, but it is the fact about Adrian's top speed around this track. Ooh,
Now on the
but
main
James
straight
having a
again,
terrible
overtake
exit.
mode for Paco. He doesn't go for a move into turn 1 though.
Oh, but we might see the move into Mirabo or Casino.
Brakes quite early.
Definitely putting Lee under pressure now.
He's too far away though for a move into here.
And he's turned down his ERS again.
Completely down to 0.
Yeah, I'm really...
But the thing is, I hope Paco isn't over self-confident at the moment, because I think he just was so confident that he would easily overtake him, that he saved his ERS. I thought I'll overtake him easily anyway, and I'm kind of scared. I mean, I would be very happy for Lee, but I'm kind of scared that
and
Paco
is hitting the wall there,
miscalculated.
but he doesn't seem to have front wing damage. Although he's pressuring Lee and he will be going for it soon. Can he get it
Can he cover the
into
inside
turn
line? No.
1? No.
And we
As
have a
Chris
VSC
Ryan.
that could save Lee.
Oh. Oh, you know, Felix, I just
And
saw
that is
a comment
exactly the
in
thing.
the chat, and I'm telling you, that comment came from Jay, and he said Paco to do his signature bottle by not taking those supers to the end when he had the chance. If this VSC isn't going over soon, he might be too late.
Sorry about it. Sorry about my internet.
Oh, and we've lost Felix, and Paco got through after the tunnel into that chicane. I don't know exactly how we didn't get the picture of that, but he's probably gotten a much better restart after the virtual safety car ended, and is now in the lead. As Lee mentioned though, will we see a Paco bottle? As Felix is back, and it just missed the move by Paco.
I saw the overtake, but then I got kicked from the party. I'm very sorry for my internet. But you can see Lee is still very close.
Yes.
And I missed what someone said in the comments. Could you repeat that for me, please? Sondre? Could you...
Oh, I am still here. Don't worry about me. But Lee is right behind Paco. Well, he's losing a little, but he's managing to stay pretty close to Paco. Although Paco is, for some reason, not using ERS, so he might know if Lee have more penalties than himself.
Maybe. But could you repeat what someone in the comments said? Oh! And that's James Sands
Oh, and that
into
is
the wall
James
in
Sands.
the tunnel. He was in P4 pressurizing Jared Fosbury, sorry. And he just threw it into the wall.
I don't think so, Cameron. I don't think Paco has any wing damage at the moment. Or can you see any wing damage for him?
Not right now.
Nah, not really. Just
I mean,
looks
he
like...
is very slow at the moment, but I think he's just
Yeah, but he's...
taking it carefully.
You know, we might just see a Paco who's just not willing to risk crashing out now. As they are going around. You know, I can't believe that we actually have Lee and Paco so close on this
Even though
second
Lee is
to
on
last lap.
28 old tires.
Yeah, the thing is, he's still close. As Marcel
I don't know how many penalties Paco
penalty.
has, and I don't know how many penalties Lee has. But we're on the last lap of this F2 Monaco Grand Prix.
Last lap.
Oh, I thought for a split second that he was trying to go around the outside there. Storm pitted once more, maybe to put in the fastest lap.
Well, I'm telling you, on fresh ultras now, it wouldn't surprise me if he does. As Vasman retires from the race on the last lap.
Lee is right next to him, and he wanted to go down the inside, but he didn't dare.
How can those 29 laps all tires be good to battle with now?
She should have just went for it, in my opinion. He was right next to him and then braked too early.
Is that your opinion as a commentator or as a racer?
As a racer, I have to say.
As we see Paco weaving over the line as he takes the win just ahead of Lee Kelly.
And they had the same amount of penalties.
Yeah. Jared Fosbury will be coming in at third place, and Paco is keeping his championship hope alive at the moment. As Jared is weaving over the line, so he looks to be satisfied. Next driver over the line will be Storm, and we will not be seeing him weaving over the line. He is going for his fastest lap right now. As he comes into La Rascas.
Oh, and Marcel Holler
last
spun.
Coming up to the line for Storm.
Not the fastest lap.
Not the fastest lap, so...
But I still, as a racer, I've got to say, Lee should have gone for that dive after the tunnel. I mean, he was definitely close enough. They were side by side. If he would have just braked a bit later, then he could have made that mistake and won his first race of the season, but he decided not to.
We can see Paco Suarez taking, I believe it's his 6th victory of the season, if I'm not mistaken. Just ahead of Lee Kelly. He's yet to get his win with just a few rounds left, and Jared Fosbury in third.
As the gap has come down to 35 points now after this race. And remember, we still got 3 races to go.
So the championship is alive for Paco, but Fosbury has been he's been a very consistent driver. As our final result is Paco Suarez in first, Lee Kelly in second, Jared Fosbury in third, Adrian Storm in fourth, Marcel Holler in fifth, Luis Marsman getting 6th place due
because of the
to
90%
finishing the
rule.
90%. Same
I
with James
don't
Sands,
know
who
if
gets 7th
was he
place.
actually inside the 90%.
I believe he was, but that will be looked at in the end. A lot of stupid driving today coming from Chris Ryan. I don't know if I would say stupid driving. It is Monaco. It's always like this.
Yeah,
People
I
are
gotta
looking
say
to
it was
do moves, and there is very few places to do
yeah,
moves.
obviously a lot of people getting frustrated after a long time of not being able to pass someone. But I've got to say, in comparison to real life, it was a very, very exciting Grand Prix,
Definitely.
a very exciting Monaco Grand Prix we had.
I got to say, as a commentator, it was a good Monaco. We got people trying moves, we got people doing moves, and altogether a good race and fun race to watch for us. As a
Yeah,
racer, although I do feel bad for some of the drivers too. But
yeah, exactly. It's
that's
so
probably gonna be
frustrating
me in the
to.
wall tomorrow, so I'll feel on it. Now
It's
don't you
probably going
laugh,
to be
Felix,
you
you're gonna
in
end
the
up in the
wall.
wall too.
No, I won't. Um, I know that feeling. I think every racer does at some point, just being stuck behind someone, just not getting past them, and it's so frustrating at some point. But I gotta say that most of the drivers behaved very well, and they didn't go for stupid moves. At least most of the time they didn't.
Well, we
And
probably didn't
I,
catch everything though, we got to remember that. But Jay's making a
from what
point
I've
here,
seen, I'd
and
say,
he says that we had a battle right until the end of the race, which is rare around here, and that is
yeah.
a very good point. You rarely see that on Monaco. Often you see one driver get away from everybody else by
Oh,
just
and
not having traffic. Yeah.
you've got to remember that Lee got the penalty through the fight with James, which I said is quite ridiculous. In the fight itself, after the
Oh
tunnel,
yeah.
he was in a fight with James. James didn't leave much space. Lee got a penalty, which was actually very ridiculous. And
Well, I
yeah,
got to say, I do kind of agree with you there. It was a ridiculous penalty because it did end up behind James, so he didn't gain anything from actually cutting it, and he didn't have any more space to go on. To be fair, but obviously that's more for the
yeah.
stewards to discuss in that case. For now, we're gonna see who will be up for some interviews, and let's see if we can get the top threes. Well, you gotta wait a moment because I don't think people will hear you since we're in party screen right now. So if you're just a little patient, as I'm trying to find people with new accounts, that's always fun. And then, Felix, over to you again. You were
Yeah,
saying,
I wanted to ask you, who was your driver of the day?
oh, my driver of the day.
Yep.
That's a hard one, to be honest. Like, Lee did start on pole, but slipped down to second in the end. But then again, still, he managed to be in the fight with those old tires in the end. It is impressive, but Paco still started down in fifth, I believe, and did end up with the win. So It's hard, but I think I gotta give it to Paco. What about you, Felix?
Yeah, I think both did a very good race, but I've got to give it to Lee in my opinion. He got a very undeserved penalty in my opinion, which we saw in the race itself as well. Um, he held that he carried those tires for such a long amount of time and still fought for the victory in the end. And for me, that was quite impressive.
Good point there. Well, do you want to take first place then, Felix?
All right, coming up to Paco. First of all, congratulations to you for your win in Monaco. Um, you pitted twice. We didn't catch the reason why you pitted for the second time. Was it because of front wing damage?
Exactly. Yeah, I messed it up. Going into before was gas. No, yeah, in the swimming pool section, I think it was, and I just clipped the wall, and I had to pit again. So I could have been one stop easily, and not risking it, but due to that, I want to two stops. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we thought as well. We didn't catch that though. That's why we ask once again. But you caught up to Lee pretty quickly, obviously, because of the fresh tires. You had very good pace all race long, but you seem to have been stuck behind him for quite a long amount of time, and you were in non-ERS mode for most of the time. Why didn't you go for that move immediately?
It was more of a mental game. Like maybe if I passed him, he might stop, and Gerard would be second. Um, Maybe he would have continued with his strategy, but I just wanted to give him like the trust, well, the trust, like the confidence that he could win, although he was doing a great job defending, and when I started pushing, it was really giving me trouble, but I just wanted him to continue in the track, and not to do a stop. That's why maybe I was behind him, so he have like the confidence, like he could have real chances, to win.
Yeah, so a lot of mental games going on, and as well, obviously, for the championship to minimize that gap to Jared. That gap has now come down to 35 points with still 3 races to go. And I think you showed some great pace in the last few races, and especially today again. So, do you think you could still win that championship? I mean, that gap isn't all too big.
As I said, when we both DNF in, I can't remember what track. Well, last week when we DNF, I said that I was going to fight until the end, that I wasn't going. No, it was 2 weeks ago because last week there was no interview. But I said that I was going to fight till the end, and that's what I'm doing. Today, I have to say that I almost DNF just before the PSC ended because I don't know. Lee what he did, but he brake check. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but he braked a little bit. I had damage on my front wing. That's why I was a bit slow in the end. Um, and still, I managed to continue in the race, and so it was close. These 3 races are gonna be crucial, are gonna be really important. I don't know until what point I have real chances to win, but yeah, I'm gonna try till the end.
All right, then again, congratulations to you. And I think Sondre will go on to the driver in second, which would be Lee.
Well, first of all, though, Paco, you did say that you're still in the fight for it, and with German, Japan, and Brazil left, do you feel like you have the upper hand track-wise, or do you think your teammate
Hmm.
has it?
Germany, it's mine, clearly. uh, Maybe Japan, I don't know. And Brazil is a track that I like, but he's also strong there. It's gonna be really close, it's gonna be exciting for you that are commentating. For us, not so much, but yeah.
Nerve-wracking for you then. Well, thank you. And of
See,
course, congratulations and good luck for Germany next week then.
thanks.
And then Lee Kelly.
Yep.
second place and still yet to win that first race. Did you think you had it today, or?
Um, when I was in that fight with James, obviously I got that absolutely ridiculous penalty, which I'm gonna take that to the stewards. I mean, I probably will. I'll still think about it. I'm gonna take that one to the stewards, and I also got wing damage behind him. But then when I got past him, and then when Paco pitted, I thought I might have a chance. But then for the first few laps after Paco pitted, he didn't have a time penalty. So I thought, I was just thinking, if he gets past me, like before he got his time penalty, I was just thinking, if he gets past me, I'm just gonna pit, see what I can salvage. But then he got a time penalty, so I just decided to fight. And also, I need to apologize with him for the VSC. It was an accidental brake check. Didn't mean to break his wing off. But congratulations, Paco. In my opinion, I deserved it more, but can't win everything.
Well, I mean, it's actually good to hear you saying that you feel like you deserved it more. But then again, it wasn't you today. But you did put up a good fight for it, and I think many people wonder how bad were your tires on the last lap.
Considering I pitted up 9, I mean, it took them 30 laps, they were only about 40 something percent. They weren't that bad, actually.
Interesting. Well, that's good to know for us F1 drivers tomorrow. Although, as we said earlier, I'm gonna crash in the wall. Yeah. But then, Lee, 3 races left of the season. Still yet to get that win. With Germany, Brazil, and Japan, do you see yourself winning on any of those tracks?
I don't know. I I think I'm most likely to get it around Japan because it doesn't. What was I gonna say? Yeah, Japan. It doesn't seem like many people's favorites, so it could be there. Germany and Brazil, obviously, hearing Paco and Jared are actually decent around there. I don't know, but I think Japan is the best bet because it didn't seem like much people like that track, and I love it.
Interesting. Well, I do not think I have any more questions right now. Do you have any questions, Felix?
No, I have nothing I want to know anymore.
Alright, well, for now then, Lee, congratulations on your second place today, and good luck for next week. And also, we will also like to pay our respects to you for your mate who passed away.
Oh yeah, I appreciate. I forgot to say this. I just want to say thank you to everybody who raced with black helmets today. It's appreciated.
Well, it is the least we can do, and we hope you're doing
And
fine.
obviously, we're wishing you the best for the future and a lot of strength. A lot of people know how something like that feels, but
Yeah,
I think you just showed a very strong mentality today.
thank you.
Definitely. Well, for now then, Lee, congratulations on your result today, and good luck for next race.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm gonna leave third place to you then, Felix.
Yeah, Jared, third place. Obviously, you started in second, qualified 2 tenths behind Lee. You started on hypers, but got overtaken by your teammate not too long into the race. Then you pitted onto supers. Couldn't make that work till the end, so you had to pit twice. And got pressurized by James Sands, if I remember correctly, on your second stint. Um, do you think that could have gone any better if you would have qualified on ultras?
Well, I was on an Ultras quali lap, and two drivers, one who wasn't even on a lap, held me up the whole entire lap. It was Shane. Then my second run, Luis saw I was going to go for a lap, and he wasn't on one, and he just blocks me completely. That's twice now I've been blocked on a lap. And then on my quali run on my hypers, Mr. Paco Suarez, as a tactic, give me a bit of dirt, yeah, but I'm not gonna complain about that. It's teammate. But before I continue with this question, I've got to pay all my respects to Lee, and it was he was one who told me about what happened, and all my respects go to him, and hopefully, if he needs anyone to talk to, he can talk to all of us. So, all my respects to him. I do believe Lee deserves the win. It was unfortunate. Paco did a nice move on him, but I've got to say the Paco move on me wasn't the best moves he's ever done. It almost made me hit the wall and lose a bit of my wing, but luckily it didn't. But the reason why I pitted the second time, I believe, on another set of supers was because I damaged my wing. It wasn't because the tyres were dead, because I could have made them to the end. They were only at 20 to 15% by lap 21, and I pitted lap 6. I wasn't pushing the car. I knew basically I have a game plan for the next 3 races, so what's going to be playing on Paco's mind. So today it went all by the book. So, but no, all my respects go to Lee, and unfortunately I didn't win today. It wasn't a plan to do. Tyres were still good at the end. They weren't even only 10 laps, and they weren't even bad. They were like 10% at least, and they were going to be used for my qualifying. But no, other than that, it's been a good day. I'm happy finishing third. There's only 3 rounds left, so I finished third every race, and either Paco finished ahead of me or behind. I'm just going to be champion, so I've got to have this motivation. So yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately,
someone's done their math.
Yep.
I unfortunately suffered from some internet connection issues during the race. That's why I didn't properly see the move Paco made on you. So maybe Sondre will talk about that. But for first, you seemed very confident before the race with your pace, but in the end, it's you now say that you are very happy with P3. Even though you've lost your front wing, aren't you a bit not upset, but not a bit unhappy or unsatisfied with your result in the end due to losing your front wing?
I was angry that I lost my front wing, but when you race on that track and at that speed, you can't have that feeling get stuck in your head. You've got to get it out, and
Yeah.
I pitted instantly. I lost a bit of time because I had to slow down, select the right tyre, because it was going to be a set of hypers if the supers couldn't last. But then if I didn't have that wing damage, I would have been with Paco and Lee, and I would have tried to stop Paco passing Lee, even though he is my teammate. We could have got a 1-2 today, but it didn't happen. If we were quicker and didn't have to pit twice. But I wanted Lee to win as my game strat, because if Paco got second, he's basically out of the title hopes then, because then he would have to win and I would have to finish 5th or lower, I believe, or something like that. But no, Paco is still my teammate. He means a lot to me, to the team. I don't know if we've won the constructors titles yet, so still trying to get that done. We could have got it done today if we both finished Australia, but fortunate on that scene. But no, all my basically the race wasn't for me. It wasn't for the championship. My race was to show my respects to Lee. So that's all I've got to say.
Yeah, obviously now the last 3 tracks, as I remember correctly, are now Germany, Japan, and Brazil. Same question for you. Do you think those are good tracks for you, or do you think that will rather be some weak tracks where you maybe suffer from a bit of losing points to your teammate?
Well, let's honestly, truthfully, Germany, Paco's got a high chance of winning. his pace is unreal around there, but there may be a tweak of the setup what may get me close to him, hopefully. I'd like a battle with him, and he's still my team at the end of the day. I'll show a lot of respect for him. And then let's see, Japan. I want to win. I love that track. I'm quite quick round there, but we'll just wait and see. And Brazil, I'm sorry to say, Paco, but that's mine. I've got to say I've got a lot of confidence boost in me on that track. Might sound cocky, but
Time
that
to break
track
that down then.
is mine. Yeah, that track's mine. So, Paco, you want this title, you're going to have to annihilate me. So, we'll see what happens between the Renaults. So, yeah.
Alright, you've already given us your thoughts about your championship hopes or your championship chances, so I personally don't have any more questions to add, and I'll just give it away to Sondre now
Okay.
if he has any more questions.
Well, I don't think I have any questions, but I can confirm that you and Paco have officially won the constructor today. You won't be catched. Even if both of you retires all the 3 last races, you won't be catched. So
So, yeah. Alright.
by that, you can do all the crazy moves you guys want to do against each other. For now, though,
Oh.
I don't have any more questions to you at this point, so congratulations on your result, and
Thank you
good
very
luck
much.
for Germany then.
Yep. Cheers.
Then we are gonna see but Joe then asking for an interview, so while waiting on Joe then Felix, we've already said our drivers of the day, but you got to have a moment of the day.
Difficult one, very difficult one. That race had so many moments or unexpected moments, and the sad thing is the 2 most memorable moments when Paco passed Lee and Jared. I
didn't
had
see them.
internet issues and didn't see them properly, so that's quite unfortunate.
I do feel a little bad for you that you didn't catch them, because the
I mean,
move of Jared.
I did the overtake on Lee, so I guess that's my moment of the race. And what about you?
Well, for me, my moment is pretty clear. It's Paco's move into the hairpin on Fosbury. I did not see that coming at all, and you so rarely see it, especially without at least one of them crashing or losing wing damage or something. But he managed to get the car around that corner and getting ahead of Jared. It was my moment. But for now, we have gotten Joe Hollis into the interview box, so he's gonna be our last driver to get interviewed after this race. So, do you want to take it away, Felix?
I actually did 2 of the 3 interviews, so I'd rather give it away to you.
Alright. Fair enough.
To balance
Well,
it out again.
Joe then. Oh. A small awkward moment there, but you should have been unmuted now. Give me a break, Joe.
Yes.
If you could refresh my memory about where you started, because I do remember that you didn't finish.
I started in P5. I was the car that almost went 3 wide into turn 1.
Oh yes. Well, let's start off with that then. The 3 wide moment, well, almost 3 wide moment into turn 1. What was your mind saying?
I was like, I got a good start. I was alongside Paco, but then James had a terrible start, so I saw that it was 3 wide. I was like, this isn't going to end well, so I backed out. So I was just like, I'm not ending the race here.
39 laps from the finish might be a bit early, I'll agree on that. I think something, maybe a lot of people... Are you sure you have your voice on Shirley? No, Joe?
Yeah, it's on Shed.
Alright. Something at least I'm wondering about is you were always up there in the beginning of the season, and at the end of the season you've been kind of going a little under the radar, struggling, I presume, and like what happened mid-season for you?
I think it's because at the start of the season I was practicing a lot more and everything, and I was more on my PlayStation than going out with friends and focus on school. So now I do that a bit more than PlayStation. So I think that's why.
Right, so like by that then, not practicing as much as maybe some of the other
Yeah.
does. You think they've improved more than you have, basically?
I don't think I've improved at all. I think I'm just where I was the whole season from start.
All right, well, fair enough. Well, as there isn't, well, if you can enlighten us on how you retired in the race again.
I retired. Well, I was in a battle with Storm most of the race with some wing damage, so fending him off. Then I pitted, repaired my wing, came out. I had Lewis underscore W228 behind me.
Louis Vassman, yeah?
Yep. So like went onto the racing line, but then I saw if I didn't get off of it, he was going to ram me and then just push me into the barrier or something. So I pulled over to the right bit to let him go alongside. And then I left him enough space on the inside, and he just decided to swipe me. So I sent that to you, I think. Yeah, I did. And then I had no wing again. And then came out the pits 2 laps after that again. I turned in too early at the what corner is it? You know where you're going up Casino Square, you got that left hand and then the right hander.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned in too early at the right hander, knocked off my front wheel, or my right front wheel.
Ah, that is too bad. Well, this last part of the season has been a low point in your season. I think we can agree. For next season, that's gotta be where your focus is right now, because obviously you're not in the Champ 45 championship anymore. Do you think next season that you can have a better opportunity?
Yeah, maybe a bit more podiums, as some of the drivers might be going up. So I think I have a better
Transfer
chance.
rumors.
Yeah, and then yeah, what was I about to say? I forgot what I was about to say.
You're turning into me.
I'd rather not, but
Oh, you won't.
yeah, I was gonna say something, but oh yeah, I'm still focusing on this season a bit because I'm still in the fight for third in the championship,
because me and Marcel were tied after today. Well, no, and now I think he overtook me because he finished the race. And
Alright.
yeah, and then Lee's caught up to me as well. So there's a three-way battle for second in the for third in the championship.
Alright, well, so you are focusing to get that third place in the championship then. That is
Yeah.
good to hear. But for the next season, as I said, what would be your aim next season?
My aim next season, some more wins maybe. Sorry about that. Some more wins, some podiums, maybe more than one win. So yeah.
Alright. Well, gonna say good luck for Germany then. Hopefully you'll have a bit more luck and maybe end up on the podium again.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Well, thank you for taking the time.
Could I just say, rest in peace for Lee's friend. I was racing with a black helmet for him. It's
That
just
is
bad
good
if
to
you
hear.
at Lee's age and you lose a friend like that. It's horrible. Because I've experienced it. One of my teammates in rugby passed away last year as well.
Oh, it's a
So.
shame to hear. It's really too early. It's just too early, but gotta stay strong, and it's nice to see that many drivers were driving with the black helmets as we did last weekend too, after Charlie Whiting passed. It's a good gesture, and I think we'll see drivers in F1 tomorrow also doing the same. For now, I don't know if you have anything more to add, Felix.
Nope, nothing to add.
9999.
Okay, German, Sondre, please.
Sorry. Should have been Felix. Well, then, for this race, we are finished. If you want, you can catch IRL F1 tomorrow around Monaco at 4:15 p.m. Next weekend, you will have Germany in IRL F2 at 4:30 p.m. as usual, and Germany in F1 at
Tomorrow,
4:15 p.m. as usually.
especially remember tomorrow, there's another Monaco race. Check out who will then finish the race, actually. How many people will finish the race, and maybe we'll see an unlikely podium or something. Maybe Sondre will finish the race again,
Definitely not.
and my personal target is maybe just first of all to
The
finish a
wall.
race and maybe to get a podium again after finishing third in Austria. But we have Jack Hoyle as well, I think being able to actually secure the championship tomorrow as well. I'm not quite
I'm
sure
not
about
sure
that.
about that.
Let me quickly check that. He definitely has a chance to only make it two people. Yes, he has the chance to make the championship his tomorrow with a gap of 60 points
Oh
at the
yes.
moment ahead of Jay Drawbridge and 75 points ahead of me. With a race win and Jay Drawbridge getting at least 16 points less than him, he would win the championship already. So be sure to check that out with our commentator Kamikaze Fox.
And by that means I think we've pretty much covered it all. Do remember to like and subscribe, hit that notification button, and good night for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Goodbye.